France arrive at the men's EHF Euro 2026 in a unique position. They are defending champions and have been consistently at the top of international men's handball for over 2 decades, helping to shape the sport with physical power, defensive control, and an ability to perform when the pressure is highest. But their 2024 title came after a drought of 6 years without an EHF Euro medal, and they arrive at EHF Euro 2026 for their first major tournament without either of their influential leaders, Nikola and Luka Karabatic. Nikola Karabatic retired after the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, and Luka stepped away from the national team after the 2025 IHF Men's World Championship. For years, France's identity was built around the Karabatic brothers' leadership. That reference point is now gone, and responsibility is spread across the group rather than carried by one central figure. What remains unchanged is structure, and that structure carries a clear signature of head coach Guillaume Gille. Gille is the only man to have won the EHF Euro both as a player and as a head coach, and his experience is visible in every phase of France's game. Under his leadership, France have avoided radical change. Instead, the focus has been on continuity, balance, and tactical discipline, allowing new leaders to grow inside a familiar framework. The backcourt is where France's evolution is most visible. On the left side, Thibaut Brier offers physical strength and consistency, particularly against compact defensive blocks. Elohim Prandi brings creativity and long-range shooting and is capable of changing the rhythm of a match in seconds. His influence can be decisive, but it also requires careful management, as France's structure depends heavily on timing and patience. At centre-back, France rely on 2 complementary players. Aymeric Mene brings tempo, movement, and connection play, helping to stretch defences horizontally and maintain an attacking rhythm. Nedim Remili provides experience and control, especially in high-pressure moments. When Remili is allowed to dictate pace and direction, France's attack gains clarity. When opponents succeed in limiting his influence, France can struggle to impose order. Line player and captain Ludovic Fabregas remains one of the most important players in world handball, contributing goals and also tactics. He organises France's positional attack and anchors the defensive block with intelligent positioning, and his presence stabilises the entire system, especially during long, physical phases of the game. At right back, Dika Mem continues to be France's primary long-range threat. His shooting power and explosiveness force defences to step out, opening spaces for the pivot and wings. Alongside him, Melvin Richardson offers a more balanced profile, using timing, movement, and decision-making to keep the attack fluid. At times, however, France can become too dependent on Mem's individual solutions, but his ability to break defensive balance remains essential. In the wing positions, France combine efficiency with balance. On the left, Hugo Descat remains a reference point through his consistency, particularly in fast breaks and penalty situations. Alongside him, Dylan Naïm adds explosiveness and timing, attacking space more directly and giving France extra speed in transition. On the right wing, Benoit Concours brings intensity and pace, often turning strong defensive work into quick counter-attacks. Yanis Len complements this with precision, offering clean finishes from wide angles and stability in positional play. Defensively, France still stick to a compact and physical 6-0 system. Without the Karabatic brothers, leadership inside the middle block is now shared. Fabregas and the half-back defenders manage spacing, timing, and communication, relying on coordination and discipline. The system remains solid, but it demands precision. When rotations are late or communication drops, France becomes more vulnerable than in the past. France also have vulnerabilities in goal. Charles Bolzanger and Rémi Debonnet offer reliability, good positioning, and calm shot reading, particularly against organised attacks. What they have not consistently provided is match-defining goalkeeping at the highest level. When France's defensive system breaks down, the margin for error in goal is visible. Compared to previous generations, where goalkeepers often decided matches, this remains an area where France must find greater stability and authority. In the last 2 years, France have shown both strength and instability at the highest level. They reclaimed the European Championship title in 2024, fighting back to beat Denmark in extra time in the final in Cologne, a sign of their resilience and tactical clarity against top opposition. However, at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, the home campaign ended in the quarterfinals against Germany, a disappointing exit for a side carrying high hopes. Less than a year later, at the 2025 World Championship, France bounced back, winning bronze after a narrow win over Portugal and showing that they can still set the rhythm in big moments, even if results have been mixed. France enter the EHF Euro 2026 with familiar strengths, depth, structure, tactical clarity, and a head coach who knows how to guide them through the rhythm and pressure of major championships. Their main challenge lies in defence, and particularly in goal, where consistency and authority will be tested against the very best attacks in Europe. This French team may no longer rely on legendary figures to impose themselves through reputation alone. What they still possess is an understanding of space, tempo and control. Under Guillaume Gille, France arrive at EHF Euro 2026 organised, competitive and fully aware that success will not depend on history but on defensive precision when it matters most.